Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, buying time to solve problems in the wild. We're learning about what the species survival plan is and how ZooTampa takes part in a big way. And we meet Lotus and Kingsley, a pair of lions who are spending their days at a conservation foundation in Gainesville. Plus, later in the show, the world's first global hub focused on coral conservation and why this matters. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Species survival plans focus on animals that are threatened or endangered, which is a very long list. It's a program that includes the management of breeding and conservation through careful planning. By maintaining these species in captivity, it allows time to solve problems in the wild. Ones like poaching and pollution, with hopes that once those problems are solved, some of these animals can be reintroduced into the wild. ZooTampa is an accredited member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, better known as AZA, and they take part in more than 75 species survival programs. We recently got the chance to meet a very special member of this family.
So right here we have Maku. He is our almost 2-year-old southern white rhino. He is also almost 2,000 pounds. So in the first 2 years of a southern white rhino's life, they grow about 100 pounds each month. So they're very fast growers, and their skin is super, super thick. So they need all that kind of fat to pack on to kind of spread that super thick skin out. Once he turns 2, that progression will kind of slow down with his growing. However, his dad is almost 6,000 pounds, so he's gonna get a lot bigger than he is now, believe it or not. I try to tell him every day to stop growing, but he doesn't listen to me. What you see him eating right now is what he loves to eat. So he's getting alfalfa. This is just kind of a sweeter, more nutritious type of hay. We use this alfalfa for a lot of our training sessions here and just to get him to station and hang out while you're hanging out with him here. Southern white rhinos in particular are near threatened out in the wild. So although 17,000 individuals may seem like a lot, in the grand scheme of things, they're definitely rapidly declining. So we want to make sure that we can promote their conservation the best we can and make sure that people care about rhinos as much as we do.
And that's actually Mufasa right there. So he's the dad, that's Maku's father, and Maku is his first calf, so very important for the SSP, because that will be the first time that Mufasa is represented in the stud book. So ZooTampa participates in over 70 different species survival plans. So some of those species include obviously the southern white rhino, but we also are involved in koala species survival plan, American red wolf, African painted dog. And some of these are so important because a lot of these species are critically endangered. So making sure that we have a healthy population in zoos is just a really good safety net in the event that that population continues to decline. Here at ZooTampa, we participate in a program known as the Species Survival Plan, or SSP. And what that is it is a network of accredited facilities that is managed by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. All of those accredited facilities come together when they all care for the same species that we are looking to preserve. The goal there is to create genetic diversity. We want a sustainable population within our zoo community that is healthy, with the goal of maintaining that population in the event that the wild population diminishes, which it rapidly is. At this point in time, we are experiencing a biodiversity crisis in our world wildlife. So it's more important now than it ever has been before to maintain healthy genetics and healthy populations in our zoo-housed populations. Biodiversity is one of the most important things to maintaining a healthy world in general. Our ecosystems are very fragile, and every single animal that exists within that ecosystem plays a role or a niche. They do a job. All of them are so important, whether they are a grazer and they are maintaining a healthy a healthy plant ecosystem, or they're a bird that is helping to pollinate different types of plants and keeping that healthy. There's a lot of bioindicator species in the environment that are important for us to keep tabs on and keep healthy as well, and that would be like your insects and reptiles and amphibians. So every animal, big or small, is super important to our ecosystem and keeping everything healthy. We think about the concept of one world, one health, and that is really what we're going for here with preserving every species we can.
We give them choice and control for their breeding decisions. We don't facilitate anything at all. We just allow our male to go in with our females, and if our female is cooperative and our male is interested, then we allow them to breed. Maku was actually bred and born here, so like I said, he's about 2 years old. So his father Mufasa and his mom Kidogo actually came together and then had him. He's perfect. I just think they're different personalities, and when you put changes in their environment, things that really excite them and make them happy, it's amazing to see how you can affect them in an environment like this and how you can really make their life better every single day. Now, unfortunately, I don't want to admit it, but Maku will actually be leaving us in a year or so. Because of our species survival plan. So he would probably go to another facility to start his own family there, and because he would be of breeding age and we wouldn't want him to accidentally or inadvertently breed with his mom. So he would probably go to another facility, which is quite normal for them to be separate around that time. So by the age of 3.5, Maku will be leaving us, and hopefully his mom will have another baby around that time as well.
The SSP operates off of something called a stud book. And what that is essentially a family tree of all of the animals that are within that plan. And so that way, scientists, geneticists can go in and see which animal should breed with which animal to create the most healthy population. They can also make decisions if an animal has been really successful and has a lot of calves and their genetics are prolific, then that animal might need to take a break from breeding for a little while. So they manage that type of things. They'll send out recommendations to all of the participating facilities. And from there, we can make the best decisions for the animals and also for the population based on those genetic recommendations. We have had 9 successful calves at ZooTampa, which is huge. That's a huge contribution. We obviously provide these animals with the best care possible to ensure that they are happy and healthy, because happy, healthy animals breed. So when we see that success, it's not only achieving our conservation goals, but it's also letting us kind of relish in a behaviorally healthy population and a behaviorally healthy animal. So it means a lot when we have babies like Maku that you met, and seeing him flourish and shine and add to that genetic health, knowing that he's going to make a difference not just in our crash, but in the southern white rhino population as a whole. It's extremely rewarding. The impact ripples out and is very rewarding. The original goal of the species survival plan was to have a healthy enough population where if their species did diminish in the wild, that we would still be able to preserve that species and be able to reintroduce in some cases. And we have had some successful reintroductions. The black-footed ferret is a great example of a successful reintroduction. We actually are part of the American red wolf SSP, and that animal is being actively reintroduced into the wild in some places. So it is really exciting to see that that is an option in the future if we continue to support sustainable populations in zoos. By coming and getting involved and learning everything that you can about the animals in our care, just coming to the zoo and you're supporting that conservation mission. That emotional connection is very important. So when guests come and they meet Maku at a southern white rhino encounter, yes, they're going to smell him, they're going to see him, they're going to hear the sounds of the snorts that he's making and the grunts, and it's going to make that animal more real. It's going to allow you to connect with them emotionally, to have an empathetic response to that animal, which we know, scientifically proven, that that kind of connection with an animal leads to behavior change, pro-conservation behavior change. So it is so important to participate in those types of activities and to come see animals in person so you can create that connection and conserve what we love.
If you would like to know more about the different animal species that are being cared for at ZooTampa, log on to ZooTampa.org and click on the Conservation tab. Across town at the Florida Aquarium, nearly 3,000 zoo and aquarium professionals recently got together for the yearly AZA conference. The event brought together worldwide leaders in wildlife conservation, animal care, and education. Tampa is one of only 3 U.S. cities with 3 AZA accredited facilities: the Florida Aquarium, ZooTampa, and Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Officials say hosting the conference is an opportunity to highlight the region's leadership in conservation and sustainability. Cultural attractions can influence entire industries and contribute to reducing plastic pollution that threatens marine wildlife by promoting thoughtful retail and culinary choices. As buyers of food, beverages, and retail goods, zoos, aquariums, and other cultural attractions can shift supply chains toward more sustainable practices, reduce waste on a large scale, and model responsible behavior for millions of visitors. Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, we get up close to this pair of lions and we learn about who they are, what they eat, and why it's essential to keep these animals on Earth. Stay tuned.
At Dante's Den Foundation, we let the dogs tell us who they are. We welcome our boarding friends with open arms and open hearts. When your pup spends time with us, we offer a personalized experience, from how they like to play to when they need to relax. Our staff is on site 24/7, and we honor dietary needs along with special requests. We do our best to make it a home away from home by providing a safe and comfortable environment. Dante's Den Foundation. It's a great place to be a dog.
Every animal that finds its way to Farmhouse Animal and Nature Sanctuary has a story. Some are beyond heartbreaking. But here, we focus on the future. We make sure each animal will spend the rest of their life feeling safe, loved, and protected. To help the animals at FANS, visit farmhousesanctuary.org. Learn more about becoming a volunteer and how to donate. Will you be the one who makes a difference? Donate today to help the animals who call Farmhouse home.
What's your magic number? Mine are 3, 6, and 12. Take me home and love me. For 3, 6, or 12 months, your choice. Choose your own adventure. Make me yours. Show me your world for 3, 6, or 12 months. So, what are you waiting for? Find your magic number and raise a future guide dog today.
Welcome back. And now we're going to head to Gainesville, Florida, where a pair of young lions are helping spread awareness at the Carson Springs Conservation Foundation. It's a nonprofit that firmly believes in helping humans establish connections with animals, especially ones you may never be able to see in person in the wild.
Kingsley's been here almost like 10 months.
Okay.
And she's been here a year, and they're pretty cool. This is Kingsley. He was 2 years old in July. He's a male, normal colored lion. He's already 350 to 400 pounds. He's a very good boy. His mane will get really dark. Sit. He came from another facility in Kansas. Going to do one more trick. Sit. Roll. Good boy. Lotus, who is the white lion that's walking over toward us, came from a facility in Texas. And when facilities have babies, they need to place the babies in different places, and we were lucky enough to be chosen. And then we were lucky enough that these two were in separate but adjoining cages for a number of months to make sure that they liked each other and were compatible. And when they started kissing each other through the fence, we we breathed a huge sigh of relief because we wanted to pair them up. Lions are one of the few cat species that live in prides and in groups, and they're not meant to live alone. Whereas many of the other species, or most of them, all live solitary. Sometimes the males live together like cheetahs, but lions always live together if possible. Lotus! Come on, Lodi! Come on, Lotus! All right. Lotus is a lot smaller because she's almost a year younger, and of course she's a female, so she will be smaller. Lotus! Come on, Lotus! Just be quiet. She loves to play with him and irritate him, and he just pretty much ignores her, but they do love each other, which is a wonderful thing. The mission is to preserve these animals in their natural habitat, but the way we do that is to have people essentially fall in love with them, essentially connect with a species, and then care about preserving them. I mean, nobody ever cared about preserving an animal that they've never seen and they don't know anything about. And clearly, the majority of people are not going to go to Africa. They're not going to go to Asia. And so when people say, oh, I hate zoos, I mean, there's great ones and there's moderate ones and there's bad ones, just like any restaurants, doctors, anything else. So the good zoos are essential to keeping these animals on this earth, period. They breed animals to release in the wild. They get people to connect with them. When people say to me that they hate zoos, and granted, I've been to some zoos that I really didn't like either, but I always say that's a very elitist thing to say, because should a child of modest means never see a lion? Should they never see a giraffe? Should they never see a tiger? Why should they be deprived of that opportunity if they don't have the money to go see them in the wild? Lions are becoming an endangered species. Their numbers are severely reduced in all the African countries where they normally reside. And again, it's important that lions are bred in the United States so that the zoos have a supply of them without any pressure to take them from the wild.
Do they breed?
They may and they may not. There's no, we've had animals in pairs that have never bred over the years, and we've had animals in pairs that have had lots of babies. So it's kind of up to them and Mother Nature. It's part of keeping a stable population in the United States.
If you'd like to learn more about these animals and many others, log on to carsonspringswildlife.org. And coming up next on Animal Outtakes, it's being called a historic milestone for coral conservation. We find out more about how this new global hub will help our rainforests of the sea.
What happens to your pet if something happens to you? It's a tough question, but an important one. At Dante's Den Foundation, we offer a solution. It's called Lifetime Care, a way to ensure your pet continues to live the life you've always shared. It's a chance to determine exactly what happens to your beloved friend in the event of your passing. For more on how you can provide the kind of life your pet deserves, visit us at dantesden.org.
The world's first Center for Species Survival on Coral Conservation has officially been launched. The Florida Aquarium, in partnership with the International Union for Conservation of Nature's Species Survival Commission and its Coral Specialist Group, has established the world's first global hub for the Center for Species Survival. focused on coral conservation. This creates the first center specifically dedicated to safeguarding corals and reef ecosystems from extinction, further expanding the international CSG network across 6 continents. The Center for Species Survival Corals will give corals their best chance at survival through global efforts in assessment, planning, and action through bringing experts together. The Global Hub will create impactful partnerships. The Coral Specialist Group will assess which species and reefs are most at risk, identify threats, guide conservation priorities, and help determine effective restoration practices. Their findings will help inform policymakers and advance conservation efforts. Stay with us. There's more animal outtakes coming up next.
At Dante's Den Foundation, we let the dogs tell us who they are. We welcome our boarding friends with open arms and open hearts. When your pup spends time with us, we offer a personalized experience, from how they like to play to when they need to relax. Our staff is on site 24/7, and we honor dietary needs along with special requests. We do our best to make it a home away from home by providing a safe and comfortable environment. Dante's Den Foundation. It's a great place to be a dog.
After a record-setting rescue season, 3 juvenile green sea turtles have returned to the Atlantic Ocean after more than 7 months of intensive care at the Florida Aquarium Sea Turtle Rehabilitation Center in Apollo Beach. The turtles, rescued from Florida's East Coast during a winter cold stress event, were suffering from dangerously low body temperatures along with serious medical issues, including pneumonia, skin infections, and bacterial illnesses. After initial stabilization at partner facilities, they were transferred to the Florida Aquarium in January and February through a partnership with the FWC. They received antibiotics, customized diets, and round-the-clock care until they were healthy enough for release. The aquarium sea turtle team recently transported them to designated release sites in Ormond Beach and Cocoa Beach. Locations carefully chosen to align with each turtle's original stranding site to support the natural migration routes.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. And we'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some educational and engaging encounters. Until then, thanks for watching.
Well, you have to know the animals and animals have to know you. It's like if I walk into your house and grab your dog, he's not going to react the same way as if you walk in your house and grab your dog. And she was hand raised, and I spent endless hours working with him. He was not hand raised, so he doesn't understand the boundaries that people's hands aren't something good to bite. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. Oh, I love this little.
Do you ever go in there with her? No. Okay.
No, that would be just inviting a problem. And their idea is that I would be a new toy, just like that barrel. And that's what the middle of me would look like when they got done. And that wouldn't, that would happen very quickly.